time off from my job because they pay me. But folk need a sabbatical from God. Where you been? I just had to take off for a while. You know you have to get away every now and then. But you're not getting away from the boyfriend that's knocking you upside the head. No way. I mean, you running after him. I mean, no matter what he does. Why you said, I love him so much. I mean, when you can't even see out your left eye, but you love him so much. But God who gives new mercies every morning, you sick of him because he ain't give you a new house. Guess what? Mr. Knockout didn't give you a new house either, but you stayed with him. So, here's what God said. Now, I want you to show you how ugly this is. God told Hosea to hook up with her, keep covenant with her, but he told her she gonna embarrass you too. Because this brazen hussy, not only did she, because listen, let me tell you something about the church. It'd be one thing if church folk kept their mess under cover. It'd be one thing if you went to the club up in Philly. But folk in Wilmington got the nerve to go to the club. Don't even hide it from nobody. No, that's not your husband. But got the nerve to drive down Market Street. You ain't got no shit. Don't even have enough to cover it. I know you're not delivered yet. But I know you ain't gonna walk down the street. I know you. You ain't delivered yet, but I know you're not gonna be on the block. He's gonna fix some stuff. But you got your pants down, calling yourself a member of the church looking like a thug. How dare you carry his name there? But here's what God said. He said, go plead with her. He said, now she's got other children by other men that Hosea's taking care of. I'm taking care of and covering your mess. Amen. I'm making sure that your problems don't come back to haunt you. I'm working out all things for your good. Even what the enemy meant for evil, I turn it around for your good. Amen. But yet she wouldn't come home. She refused to come back to the place that got her saved in the first place. And all of a sudden he says, go and plead with your mother because I'm about to declare a divorce. He says, she is not my wife, neither or therefore I'm not her husband. Now, in other words, he simply said, I'm not breaking the covenant, but let her know that my time of suffering with her is about to be over. That the humiliation don't stay forever. That you can raise up and call yourself a Christian and then walk around like an ain't for a while. But God said, I'm about to expose. Here's what he said. He said, let her know that in a minute, I'm about to declare a divorce, and then I'm about to operate in my right to judge her, and I'm going to strip her down so folks can see who she really is. Don't you understand that in the middle of mess, God's still simply saying, folk don't really know you. Don't make me show who you really are. Folk don't really know. You can expose a couple things, but if I really strip you down and folk get to see who you really are, because you have to understand that she was walking around like she was the finest thing this side of the Mississippi River. Young ladies, I want you to hear me good. I want you to hear me real, real good. You let these young men treat you like a trampoline, bouncing up and down on you like you ain't nothing. And I want it to be as real as possible so you get it. You let them use you and have fun and 1 and 2 and 3 and you just disobey everybody. Here's exactly what Hosea said. He says, I'm going to strip her down. Now, if she's so fine, stripping her down ought not be a problem. But I'm going to tell you why it's a problem. Because she's been beat up. She's been used. And if people really saw what was really under there, they would never really want her. Don't you dare let somebody use and abuse you, and then you have to try to cover it with stuff that is not a covering at all. he was telling this woman who thought she was all that, don't you know when I got you, I knew you wasn't all that? Don't you realize that I picked you up when you wasn't all that? And don't you know that in truth, I'm the only one that'll marry you? These other people are using you. They're just connecting with you, but I'm in covenant with you. Don't you understand that your money will come and go? Don't you understand that friends are with you because you're giving them rides today? And some folk are with you because you got a little chain to break off. But let your chain get funny and you'll find out that Jesus is the source of my joy. He is truly the one who sits closer than a brother. After everybody cuts you off and everybody calls you names and nobody want to date you, don't you know that he is the only one that says you're still fearfully and wonderfully made? I mean, there's some folk that really feel like you got it together now. And that's a blessing. But I want you to remember when you didn't. I mean, there's some folk that look in the mirror right now and say, girl, you don't look too bad. But I want you to remember when you didn't. And I want you to remember how you got there. And I want you to remember the people that told you that you weren't. And the failure didn't come because you thought you were a failure. The failure came because people were trying to tell you that you were a failure. But I want you to remember how you got here to the place where you believe you're more than a conqueror. It wasn't that God resurrected them. It was that he was resurrected in you. And that he was saying that you can while everybody was telling you that you can. And he was saying that you're virtuous while other people call you a prostitute. So you ought to remember that he is the first, the last, and the everything. That he was there when everybody counted me out, and he identified me. When everybody missed, identified me. And when I could not identify myself, and when I took my identification and threw it over there, he came and gave me another one and said, you are forgiven, and now you're righteous, and now you're holy, and now you're mine, and if you stay with me, I will cover you.